3 years ago, Chelsea defied the odds and beat Manchester City in an all-English Champions League final. Since then, their owner Roman Abramovich left and a crazy American took over the club, leaving only 3 players from that starting 11 still at the club. So let's take a look at Chelsea's 2021 Champions League final starting 11, and where are they now? And we will start with Chelsea's star boy Mason Mount, who people believed would stay at Chelsea, his boyhood club, for the whole of his career. But this summer saw him make a move to rivals Manchester United, where he has scored less goals than goalkeeper Ivan Pruvdel in his first 12 games. To be fair, he has been injured for a long spell and will find it difficult to get in the side when the club captain Bruno Fernandes plays in his position. From winning the Premier League with Leicester City to winning the World Cup with his nation France and winning the Champions League with Chelsea, N'Golo Kante has won pretty much everything there is to win in club football. N'Golo Kante was the man of the match that night in Porto, not conceding a foul throughout the whole game. Not one. He did that while also winning the most duels and making the most ball recoveries. Kante left Chelsea this year to join Saudi side Al Ittihad, where he now plays alongside fellow Frenchman Karim Benzema. And with all that Saudi money he will be getting, he can finally upgrade his white Mini Cooper. Next up is the man who scored the famous goal on that night, Kai Havertz, who Chelsea signed for $75 million at the age of 21. After an up-and-down spell at Chelsea, not being able to find consistency in his performances, Mikel Arteta took the plunge on bringing him to their rivals Arsenal to try and help strengthen their title chances, but I don't think that's really worked, only having 6 goal contributions in 31 games this season. Another player that has joined Arsenal is Jorginho, who somehow managed to finish 3rd in the Ballon d'Or rankings in 2021, finishing ahead of the likes of Haaland, Mbappe and De Bruyne. Next up is Anthony Rudiger, who got a move to European giants Real Madrid on a free. Rudiger is a regular starter for the Los Blancos, and one of his best games since joining Madrid was against Manchester City in the Champions League semi-final, where he managed to keep Erling Haaland quiet in both legs. Despite him scoring 13 goals in the competition, he just couldn't get past Rudiger. Azpilicueta aka Dave was the first Chelsea player to win every single trophy possible at the club after spending 11 years at the club and gaining 508 appearances. Azpilicueta moved back to his home country Spain, where he joined Atletico Madrid on a free transfer. Next up is Timo Werner, who Chelsea bought in the summer of 2020, and after finishing just behind Lewandowski in the Bundesliga top scorers list, people believed that Werner was going to be one of the next best Premier League strikers, but he couldn't even hit the target. Here's just a few of his big misses. So after his Champions League success, he was sent back to Germany at his old club Leipzig, but barely got any game time due to the upcoming Belgium striker Lois Openda. So this January saw him make a move back to the Premier League, moving to Chelsea's rivals Tottenham, and the Chelsea fans were not happy with this decision.
What a slippery little traitor that man is. I honestly cannot believe it. It's unfathomable to me that somebody as distinctly average as Timo Werner, somebody who is actually a contender for the worst ever Chelsea 11, a player who was shown nothing but love by the fans. We gave him total and utter support while he was missing sitter after sitter after sitter.
Another player that moved to the Saudi League along with N'Golo Kante was the goalkeeper Edouard Mendy, who was one of the best goalkeepers in the world the year Chelsea won the Champions League in 2021, but after a small run of bad games and mistakes, his confidence was destroyed, leaving Chelsea to replace him with Roberto Sanchez. That's all the players who have left the club, but before we get into the players that are still at the club, if you've learned something new from this video, subscribing to the channel would be greatly appreciated. The 3 players that are still at the club since that famous night in Porto are 3 defenders, starting off with Thiago Silva, who has been a great signing since joining the club 4 years ago on a free from PSG. And he is still going at the age of 39. To put that into perspective, he is older than Wayne Rooney. Reece James was recently made captain at the club, but is out injured, which isn't a shock to anyone, suffering 7 hamstring injuries in just the last 3 years. And the final player that is still at the club since their win over Manchester City is Ben Chilwell, who is a key player to Pochettino's men, who are currently sitting 9th in the league. That was Chelsea's 2021 Champions League final starting 11. If you enjoyed the video, consider watching another, and, as always, see you on the next one.